Eric, what do you think about the role that Sheila Dixon played in the mayoral race?
Yeah, it's interesting. So, as I mentioned, I'm from Michigan, and we had a mayor, Mayor Duggan, who actually got elected on a write-in ballot. It's not very common, doesn't happen very often, but at the same time, he didn't run against the primary candidate in the primary, right? It doesn't happen very often, but I suppose it's one way to get elected.
Write-in. It's never happened before. We had, I think, an attorney general race in Baltimore City a long time ago, and that didn't pan out. Yeah. So the write-in is tough, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. There's actually an interesting example in San Diego where someone was very close, but people had to both fill in the bubble and write the name in. Yeah, and it has to be perfect.
Right, exactly. So it's just not a matter of writing her name in. It's a little bit more involved.
It's challenging.
But she still definitely does have a following here
in
the city of Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. People still love her. Tell me about the Senate race with Mikulski stepping down. Now we're going to have two men in the Senate from Maryland for the first time in 30 years.
Yeah, and I know that was, one of the points I think Slega was trying to make was, let's keep a woman, or, send a woman to office. It is, interesting to see what the composition is. We certainly know that, overall it's very male dominated, right? You certainly want to try to get more female candidates in.
Well, it looks like Pew's leading by 57.8% of the vote right now. And if you go on the Board of Elections website for the Baltimore City, there are 0 votes. They don't even have anything tabulated.
I was going to see how Anthony Brown is doing, because that was a name that we haven't heard in a while.
Well, I think you can find those on the state board.
DC districts.
Anthony Brown's way ahead. Also, Sarbanes is way ahead. You got to watch out for John Delaney. John Delaney won the seat with Roscoe Bartlett. That's when they...
The whole district.
Yeah, they redistricted, and he won. And I think Republicans are worried about John Delaney possibly being a run for governor against Larry Hogan, a very popular Republican governor, as you well know. But we got 2 years out, right? Yeah,
and I think what'll be critical is what happens with this election, right? Because, if you have a Democrat as the president, how does that impact some of the gubernatorial races?
Here he is, 56% of the vote right now. He's got a lot of money behind him, a lot of backers, and he could be a real big Democratic foe in the next couple of years.
When you think about the state of Ohio, John Kasich coming out against Donald Trump, not voting him, and still Trump carrying the state of Ohio at this point.
Yeah.
So that says something as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I was mentioning, looking at some of the counties. So Hamilton was certainly considered kind of critical, because here you have obviously Cincinnati, and then it incorporates some of the rural counties. So Clinton is leading there. So it's still one of these interesting things. It's also interesting, there's 2 Hillsborough counties, right? There's one in New Hampshire and
one in
Florida. And if you look at what's happened there, Trump won the Hillsborough in New Hampshire. Clinton's actually performing really well, or may have already won the one in Florida.
That's the Tampa
area. That's right, and that's the bellwether, or has been traditionally for Florida. So,
all right. Well, the Virginia National, the Democratic National Party in Virginia is declaring victory for Hillary Clinton. So that was the big one.
But that was a close one.
That was close.
Very close.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
Eric, thank you so much.
All right.